You guys want to see something really cool? I have a pretty awesome husband, and he always is striving to take care of me and give me things that I want or what's going to make me happy. Check this out. You know what that means? We have electricity.
You know where this guy was when it was raining this morning?
Where were you, Mr. Herc?
He and Spruce, boy, there's a mess. He
Hi,
and
Sprucers.
Spruce, and I think even Harry, hung out in this shelter. Normally they're all in the big shelter, but now with the addition of the two littles, they said, we want some peace and quiet over here in our own shelter. Ain't
Look at
that
this
right, big guy.
Glad you didn't land in that pile of poop, Sprucers.
Yeah, me too, Herc. Would you get that bomb out of here?
I'm glad you guys are using this other little shelter.
Oh, I know. I know. Thanks for protecting everybody last night through the rain and the storm, huh? Yeah. Did you keep everybody dry? Don't go down yet. You went all muddy. Hey guys, it's Kyle and Shannon. Welcome back to K&S Get Out. Beautiful fall day today. Got some much needed rain. It's been a little while since we'd had some. And I think the highs are like in the middle, barely upper 70s for us here. So it should be good as long as that humidity stays right around 120% where it is right now. No big deal. No, no, it'll be a good day. Making more progress on Shannon's office, which is super exciting. And some of it just kind of took that confidence boost doing something you've never done before. And I just had to lean into it and go.
You did great.
I mean, I haven't, it's not very far. We'll show you. Super excited about that. But we also have a little bit of concerning news here on the farm, and it's just part of it. So when we take you up to the birds, we're going to talk to you guys about that.
We have some very hungry goats, though, so first we need to get everybody fed. You guys are such clothes eaters. We are not clothes eaters, Kay? No.
Just kind of hang on to this down in front of Larry's face, but those guys are going to try to get it, and we'll split them off. Come on, Ouija. Sprucers. Which side you want, Ouija? Why don't you go over here? There you go. There you go. Good boy. We gotta go over there and stand between the goofballs and shelter together that can't seem to eat their own food. Come help me. There's a boy. He says, I'll just eat some breakfast while everybody else is.
That's good.
You want to grab him some more food, please?
Yeah.
I am very happy to report that Hercules is no longer favoring that back right leg. I don't know if it was just a little bit of a strain that he just needed to work out and get over, or if he knew it was like an attention thing. If he fakes limping, he's going to get all the attention, and we're going to check his feet, because he's not a ham or anything that is just starving for attention at all times, are you, buddy? But needless to say, we're very, very happy that he's feeling a lot better, and we're not seeing him favor that leg anymore. It's good, huh, buddy? I don't know what. How did we do this? I blame Shannon.
Blame me for what?
This cuddle bug of an LGD.
Well, I don't think I can 100% take the blame.
It's incredible. Hey, Ouija. Ouija. Sprucey, go back over. He eats way faster than you. You need all that food. There's a boy, Herc. Thank you. Let's back up here a little bit. Yeah.
I think you cuddle Herc just as much as I cuddle Herc.
Oh no, I got you beat. I was just giving you a hard time. This is Daddy's boy for sure. It's all my fault, isn't it, buddy? There's no fault to be had. You're the greatest.
Guess what I got you?
You're the goat of dogs. Spruce thinks he's the goat of dogs. Which one is it, Dad? No, he's the dog of goats. You're the goat of dogs. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, whatever, love me. Since we've been feeding them outside of that nursery, we also got to keep a watch on it. Yeah. He said, get that out of my way.
That bucket's in my way.
He was too, man. He's just like, yeah, I'm hungry. don't tell my dad I said this, but your idea to break up the hay and put it in here and then put it in here instead of actually putting the flake in and trying to kind of separate it out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dad taught me that whenever I was over there feeding with him and everything, but maybe I didn't listen.
You not listen?
But the observation, we did that yesterday. In fact, we cleaned out the base.
Yeah, we
all
completely
this hay,
cleaned out the feeder.
100% empty, and then we filled it up here and we broke it all up a whole lot better. So just now, before I put this in there, this thing was down to like 6 inches of hay at the bottom, which is very uncommon. And to not have it all over the floor, yeah, you see some, but that's nothing compared to the hasting they can do.
Yeah.
So they went through it. Now being in here from all the rain and everything, obviously they are gonna put the hurt on the hay. But I think it was very successful breaking it up first. And I think it's probably gonna save us hay because it's more expanded and fluffed.
Yeah, I don't think they'll waste nearly as much that way.
Yeah, but even the quantity that we're putting in is less, so that as we're filling it, they're actually eating it, not wasting it. You know, all the stuff. This don't belong in here, Mom.
Get it out of here.
What the heck is this doing in here? I don't like it. Guard dog on duty. Oh, your curiosity is just hard to fathom. Silly boy. See, watch what he's doing. He just got back up from Goatville. He's even checking you. He literally went to all of the Blues crew, and even Blue kind of sniffed her a bit and then moved on. Just did it to Mama, to Spruce, the boys. Like, he goes down and checks to make sure everything's safe and then comes back up to make sure we're all good.
You letting everybody know we're safe?
See, I do my job, guys. I'm just really sweet and like to cuddle too. Yeah.
Not a lot of coordination whenever it's wet out here, huh, boys? Look at this mohawk.
Mom, I'm gonna tell this little guy who's boss, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
You
But
do
then
that.
could you tell Mama to leave me alone if she tries to come over and defends him?
Well, yeah. I'll tell her to leave you alone. I think Harry's claiming that as his little Koopa.
It's funny to me that Harry's always his target whenever little Koopa starts acting like a boy goat.
I know.
And Harry's like,
I ain't putting up with this, no way. Get out of here, little Koopa. You're just a little guy.
Coop doesn't, he's like, what's my next move here?
What is your next move? Hmm?
Oh, come here, big guy. Hi, Mama.
Oh, is your next move to come check out the camera? Look at those ears. Look at those ears.
Ow. Little Mario just bit my Adam's apple.
Did you say he bit your Adam's apple?
Yeah, he was licking my skin. I was like, hold him here, and then he just goes, ding. I got a pointy little Adam's apple here, and he found it. Didn't you? This is definitely my little Mario, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, there's all the mud and the poop.
You didn't plan on staying clean today, did you?
No.
Throw it on the ground.
Throw it on the ground.
I'll rake it up later, just like I raked everything else up yesterday.
You know, just provide a little extra bedding, right?
The funny thing is I spent, I don't even know how long down here yesterday, an hour maybe, raking all the straw and the hay up off the ground and cleaning out all the poop and just really cleaning that up. That's what I do on days that we're not filming because I don't really think you guys want to see me scooping that up. So I spend quite a bit of time yesterday doing that, and now all this hay is going to go back on the ground, but that's okay.
Well, if you would just build, like, you know, some little roofs for these hay feeders.
I love your ears. I love your ears. They're not as cute as yours, Spruce. Don't worry. But they're pretty stinking cute.
Oh, what a goober. Let's go up here and take a look at the shed and see the massive little progress that I made and what the next steps look like, and then we need to go see some birds.
So we got a pretty big storm last night. I wasn't expecting it, but it did wake me up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was enough that I got up and went outside and checked on things to see how everything was. But I think it was just a pretty good rainstorm and a little bit of wind, some lightning and thunder, but nothing too terrible.
I can feel that humidity. It's a good thing the temperature's lower,
Yeah,
but it's wet. I want to see some professional work.
always.
Come here. It's a mess. It's my fault.
It's a work in progress.
It's hard to see. Let's see if we can help with that somehow a little bit.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! All right, babe, I'm done. You got your one outlet.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely. Just run one surge protector to another to another. By the time you have about 10 of them, you should have power all the way down there. And you just plug in stuff off the surge protectors. That's what everybody does, right?
It's not like a number one way to catch things on fire or anything.
No, that's not number one. I think using a lighter would be number one. No. This is super exciting. No, I'm not. We don't need to cover it. I'm not a certified electrician. In fact, this is the very first receptacle I've actually wired and done. I've watched 1,000,000 hours of video and read a lot of stuff on it, talked to people that know what they're doing, and, you know, one big receptacle. So
It's enough to get light in here so that we can keep going, though.
Yeah, and it's been so hot in here because this insulation does a good job at keeping the temperature, you know, inside the way it is. So then during the day where it's real sunny and the breeze doesn't make it in here, yeah, it's hot. So I could now plug in a fan, plug in a light, and then just sit in here.
And do some more work, right?
Yeah. Yes, what I've done, because Shannon and I have got to solidify exactly what kind of panel or sheetrock or whatever she's going to use for the walls once we get the insulation in after all the power's run. Well, without knowing the thickness of that, I don't want to put too many of these gang boxes in because they're nails, they're not screws. So you got to set them at the depth that they'll be flush with whatever wall covering you choose. Waiting on Shannon to make a couple decisions on what she wants for her walls, and then I'll know and I can set the rest of them.
I thought I had my mind made up, and typical me, I changed it.
Well,
so I'm just a little unsure of what I want to do.
And the prices are all over the place. You know, we're not trying to build this out at the highest expense that we can. In fact, I would like to stay, you know, budget minded.
I would definitely like to keep this on the cheaper spectrum.
So I'm thinking cardboard, which probably measures about, you know, 3/16 or so.
Oh, thanks, babe.
No, but what I'll do from here, I've just got the Romex coming straight out of the breaker going into that, and that's a GFCI receptacle. Those are the ones with the little reset buttons that trip before your breaker does. And then I'll daisy chain and just pass power through each receptacle all the way around, and that'll be all of my plugs on that one breaker, and then add some breakers, add lights, and all that good stuff. So just got to get a day that I can dedicate to that, and preferably know the depth of these that I need to set them. And of course, once we actually do put the walls and the panels back up, the jacks themselves have to come out of those boxes because they kind of sit flush and rest on the face of whatever that is. So might be double doing a little bit of work, but we are so excited to have electrical in here. It's totally worth it. And I get more experience from it, right?
Exactly.
That's how I look at it. And Shannon's mom and dad came over yesterday, hung out for a bit, so he came up and saw it and was very proud, and he's like, hey, you're well on your way now. So that's a really cool skill to have in your tool belt.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about it.
Good.
A little bit proud, maybe. Is that the word?
You should be very proud.
Thanks.
So we're making a little bit of progress at a time, but when my parents were here yesterday, we did notice something going on with Christina, and we need to address that and kind of look at it a little bit more, see how she's doing this morning. But I had a very monumental moment with Christina yesterday. We had a little bit of a bonding moment, if you'll say. So we're gonna check on her this morning and see how she's doing.
I went to fire up the tractor, and all my guineas and everybody, they hang out under and around the tractor. And when I fired it up, she went crawling out of the bucket. And I noticed she kind of slipped a little bit. The bucket was on the ground, so it wasn't real high. And then she went from there and got underneath the dump truck that's sitting right out there. Didn't think a thing of it. She laid there and laid there. We sat around and talked to Shannon's folks for a little while. And then when the birds decided to all move, Christina started to get up, but she rolled over on her side and legs were out. We had to go kind of help her. In fact, you see where she's at?
Yeah.
So guys, I don't know exactly what's going on, but oh, there's a deer back there. Little doe. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
We've had that little buck up over here on the right side the last couple evenings as well.
We're not gonna hurt you.
Hi, pretty girl. And she reacts to every motion. I would scratch my arm and that's cool.
That is super cool.
So guys, we don't know definitively, like, we haven't seen the toms try to mate with her or anything, which I know can be a rough process on the hens. I don't know if maybe it's when she was getting out of the bucket of the tractor or getting down under the dump truck, she's just dislocated something. But we did it our best yesterday to really feel her leg and compare it to the other one. And, you know, everything feels okay. So I'm hoping it's just some kind of sprain or strain, but I've watched a lot of videos and I'm trying to learn all the things about their legs and whatnot. And it's just rough, man. That's Christina. That's our Princess Nala of the birds.
I know. I told Kyle, I was like, she's the one that I actually like. I don't want anything to happen to her.
So the tough thing is because they're so far up here with a leg injury, I don't want her trying to walk all the way down that hill because she will. They don't comprehend pain like we do. Mm-hmm. And so she tried to walk up the hill last night, and Shannon and I were just kind of there trying to keep her from falling and stuff. And I was really, really proud of Shannon. It was actually the most adorable thing to see. I turn around and she's got Christina under her arm, and Christina just kind of chilled and let her
I carried her up here to the run because I didn't want her straining her leg anymore.
All right, okay, I hear you. So what I'd like to do is get all of them out except Christina. And I want to try to leave her up here today.
Okay.
And then we may, I'm kicking around a few ideas, but we may utilize one of the shelters we have down in the nursery since we don't use those full time. And I could build a door for one of them and we could keep her in that shelter and just give her space, see if she gets a little bit better here in a few days. I'm gonna call Dad today and see if he's run into something like this. And I don't know, I'm surely vets will look at turkeys, right? Do I gotta take her to will they give her crutches or what do you do with the I don't know. Come on, birds, you want something to snack on?
Guess what, birds? We got some wormies for you.
Yeah. You know, they're doing a lot better with scratch too. I don't know if it was just an age thing when I first introduced it. They didn't care all that much. Trying to see if she'll just stay down. I'll take some worms into her.
Can I just make a note of how dry it is in here?
This is fantastic.
Is she on the outside? Hey, she stood up pretty well.
Hi, pretty lady.
This little one couldn't figure it out. Come on, bird. Hey, come on, Guinea. He can't figure it out. Keep going. There you go.
She's still struggling with it. She's doing better, I think. It's when she takes what, like 8-10 steps, then you start to see her, you know, she's leaning that way and trying to keep weight off of it. And then 12 to 15 steps in, she just lays down.
Yeah. Well, and she literally could not get up off the ground yesterday.
Yeah.
She was rolling over and
yeah, it was really sad.
It was super sad.
And you know, with the meat birds, I'm not saying that I would feel less bad, but I feel like their purpose here, you know, is to be harvested someday before, you know, we don't want them to get so big that they have heart attacks or get unhealthy or whatever. So, you know, she is more of that pet status.
Yeah, see, she's struggling.
Gosh, dang. What you think, girlfriend? Do you need a ride, or what if you stay up here today? What's going on with it? It's her right one, isn't it?
It's her right one.
You all right? You want some help up? That a girl, come on. They did pick on her.
They did pick on her?
She's got a little damage, a little, golly. We didn't know putting her back in here last night. I should have just put her in this coop.
Well, honey, you can't get upset. I mean,
I know.
we just didn't know, you know?
So they do. They apparently, it's common, they pick on the harmed ones or the injured ones, which blows my mind because they like her. You know, maybe she kind of got stuck up against the run or something and just rubbed a spot. It's not real bad, but yeah, so we're going to keep her isolated, and I will definitely get her out of here, get her away from these birds, and yeah, you know. Oh man, it's part of it, guys, I know, and you know, worst comes to worst, it is what it is, and we'll just deal with it on our own the way that we have to, but we're going to do everything we can to try to get her back to
Nurse her back to health.
Nurse her back to health, and yeah, she's just the best bird is the problem. All the other birds are crazy. I think they're a couple marbles short. Well, this is a new one for us. This is a little bit stressful. It is what it is. You know, there's easier days on the farm than others. She clearly has either been messed with by the other birds, which is common when one bird is injured, or she's had trouble moving around and she's scraped her side or whatever. I'm assuming it's the birds based on the look of it. So I think what we're gonna do for right now, she's gonna get the pen or the run all to herself. We're just gonna let these guys do their free range thing. We're gonna freshen up the water. She's got food in there. I put some wormies down right to where she doesn't have to walk around to get to them. And that way she'll have fresh water, food, and shelter. And I am going to fashion some kind of door for one of the shelters down there. It appears to be okay on the way down to her foot. I mean, everything seems straight, it's not dislocated, but where it gets harder to tell is up in the muscle of their leg, which is covered by feathers up there. And to be honest, Shannon and I don't know exactly what they're supposed to feel like. So the best we can do is compare what we know is her good leg to her bad leg, and then I'll talk to Dad, see if he's got any advice. Here she goes. Or if it's just time to call a vet or something, see if they service turkeys.
Well, I think we really need to get a hold of her and look at the bottom of her paw, make sure she didn't step on any glass or anything like that. I mean, there's no telling what it could be.
Yeah. No, I'm in agreement. Most of the people that I saw putting splints on them with like either popsicle sticks or just, you know, wrapping them tight enough that then when they tape them, it kind of keeps everything in alignment. It was noticeably broken the other direction. They could not put any pressure on that leg or foot. She's clearly not comfortable with it. And that's, you know, she just wants to lay down. I'm fine with that, but I don't know that a splint is gonna help her. I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep researching. Like I said, we're gonna have to find some people that have turkeys that maybe could shed a little light on what we need to do here, but we just gotta keep the other birds away from her, and yeah, she's tired.
What I'm worried about is bumblefoot. So like, they can get like sores or blisters or whatever on their feet, and I just don't want it to be that. If I can maybe pick her up, you can inspect her foot.
Yeah, and you were showing me some pictures of it, and I can see on her right foot, see how her talon, her back talon is not down on the ground? Mm-hmm. And that may be because of the injury, but I could justify thinking that she's just a little bit swollen. Everything comes together. See, that left one is the one that's not hurt. You see how her talon's touching the ground. This one, I'm not sure if I can show it, but she's not really making contact with that rear talon.
You want me to pick her up and you can kind of inspect her foot, or do you want to pick her up? You're okay. You're okay. I know.
Here, baby, here.
Can you get a look at it?
I'm curious if they, if it is bumblefoot, like, do they have a reaction? You're okay, honey.
I'm moving her, I'm sorry.
You're good. She's being really good. I'm gonna touch your elbow thing here.
I know, I got you. I know.
Oh, baby, you're good. I mean, I could even absolutely justify that this elbow, whatever this joint is right here, is wider, and like I can feel fluid, like it's swollen right here, like a slip tendon, I think is what some of them go through.
Okay.
All right, baby.
Okay.
So when you were holding her, her left leg was a little pressed against your leg, and so I don't know if that's, if she had some tension on it and it was stretched out, and that's why that elbow seemed tighter than the other one. But at one point both legs were kind of dangling at about the same position and everything, and I could feel definitely on that right, what I'm going to call an elbow, there was more fluid around it. It was more softer and swollen, and she didn't really react when I touched the bottom of her feet. And I don't know if that bumble feet, I got to look that up and see if that's like a surface touch pain or if it's more internal. But she didn't react when I was messing with either of her feet. It wasn't until I got to that elbow or knee or whatever, and then she kind of pulled that leg back up and started kind of fighting you a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe to show some discomfort. So that's where I'm going to start with the research, and we're going to learn.
Okay.
Poor girl. Yeah, but we're going to keep going with this, guys. We're going to get her an isolated nursery. I am so sorry in advance I know this is a somber video. It's a little bit sad, but this is reality. This is our day to day. This is the way it ended yesterday, and it was on our hearts and minds last night, this morning. So I apologize if that funk is still kind of there, but we just got to figure out what's going on with her, do the absolute best thing we can for her, and then that's all we can do. But we're going to do as much of it as we can.
Yeah. I think you need to call your dad, maybe send him some pictures and see what he thinks.
Yep, I'm down.
Okay.
All right, guys, well, we will keep you posted. Today's Wednesday video, so it's going to be a few days before our next video on Saturday.
You just have to see what happens.
She might be in a cast, but we can all sign it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys, well, we love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support and coming along on this journey with us. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.